If you are a new coach wanting to build your own online coaching business, I'm guessing that you are probably smart, already successful in some areas of your life and or job, and you want to help people. You want to help people while doing something meaningful, fulfilling, and yes, profitable for yourself. If that's the case, then you are going to find the 3 mindset mistakes that I'm about to share with you really helpful, because these are the top 3 mindset mistakes that I have seen over the last few years, helping well over 1,000 students like you build your own online coaching business. So with that, let's get right into it. The first mistake, the first mindset mistake that I see with pretty much everybody, myself included in the beginning of my first online business, is what I like to call one and done. There's this idea that people have, and it's a little bit different for everyone, but the overall theme is the same, that once I have X, then I will be X. Once I have my first client, then I'll be confident that I can do this, that I can have a real business. Once I make that first 5K or 10K, then I will be able to trust that yes, this can happen. Once I have my first 6 figures, then I'll be a success. Once I have X, I will have, be, feel X. The truth is that is not how it works. To be able to have the business, you have to first believe in the business. To be able to be the success, you have to, or to have the success, you have to first be the person who has the success. To be the good coach and have the clients who want to work with you, you have to first believe that those clients are out there and do the things that are going to get you in front of those ideal clients of yours. This is how life works in any area, but sometimes it can just feel a little bit different when you're applying it to your own business, which can feel new and completely foreign to most of us. And so instead, what you want to be thinking about is really what I just said before. First, that you have to first be that confident, have that confidence, trust yourself, have that faith so that you can confidently do the things that you need to do to get to where you want to be. That's the first thing. The second thing you have to realize is that life, including the evolution of building your business, is one of continual progress, not without a stopping point. I promise you, once you have your first client, you're going to be wondering, oh my gosh, how can I get my second client? How can I get my third? Was the first one a fluke? And you're going to see that over and over again. Once you have your first 5K, you're going to think, oh my gosh, can I do it again next month? Once you make 10K in a month, you're going to think, oh my gosh, what if that was a fluke? Can I do it again next month? What if this was just a really good month and it never happens again? And after you make your first 6 figures, you're going to think the same thing. I promise you, I have seen it over and over again. And so again, what you have to do is these 2 things. You have to first decide to believe and have the faith and look for proof, frankly, of all of the other people out there doing what it is that you want to do. This is such an advantage that we have nowadays. And believe it or not, just a few years ago, I think when I first started playing with building my own online business, maybe like 7-8 years ago, the industry was completely different. There was very little proof. It was very hard to believe that I could do this. Coaching wasn't as widely accepted and established and desired as it is now. And this is an advantage that every new coach nowadays has, to look and see and believe in that proof, and then be committed to continual progress, knowing that all of the things that I just shared are going to happen, and then being excited for it and being ready and prepared and looking forward to the next step, whatever that looks like for you. So that is mistake number 1. Mistake number 2 is now or bust. I can't tell you how many times I've had new coaches come to me all excited and say, you know what, I'm going to make 6 figures this year or else this is not going to happen. Or, you know what, this month I have to make this amount of money or else this is just not going to happen. Or they might look back and say, hey, I just had this month and you know what, it didn't happen. Does this mean it's not for me? The truth is, those are somewhat arbitrary goals and deadlines. Just because you don't make a goal in the timeline that you specify doesn't mean that you're never going to make it. So what if it takes you 3 months, 6 months, a year to get your first client instead of a week, right? I'm just giving you some different examples to illustrate, but so what? ultimately, looking back, are you going to be thinking, oh my gosh, it took me this long, it wasn't worth it? No, you're going to be thinking, I got my first client. Okay, great. Now I get to go get my second one, my third one, and so on and so forth. So instead of setting an arbitrary deadline, what I like to do is always be focused on the next goal that feels doable and a bit of a stretch at the same time, but not so overwhelming that if I don't hit it, I'm just going to feel completely demotivated. And so what I mean by that is, for example, when I was starting out, my first goal was not to make a set amount of money. It was to get my first client. And I wasn't even thinking about how much I would make. I was just thinking, you know what, if I can get one person to pay me for this. I did that when I started my career coaching business, when I started my online digital advertising business. And I was thinking, if I can do that, then the rest I will be able to figure out. After I got my first client, I thought, okay, my next goal, get my second client. After my second client, my next goal, get my third client. And it wasn't after I'd gotten 3 clients, I thought, okay, I've gotten 3 clients. I wonder if I can get another 3. So you see that this can snowball really quickly, but the key is to be thinking about the next goal. And the other thing I want to note is that I wasn't thinking, if I don't get my client this month, this quarter, whenever, I'm going to give up. I was thinking, I'm in this for life. I'm not going to care once I have it, how long it took me to get it. And you know what? If I have to stay in my job a little bit longer to make this happen, I'm going to make it happen. The end result that I want is too important for me to ever give up. That doesn't mean just sit back and wait. Of course, I took lots of action, but I wasn't in this mindset that if I don't have this, then, oh my gosh, I'm never going to have it. No, it didn't happen in the time frame that I would have liked. That's okay. That's life, right? And this can be much easier said than done. I know, I've been there. But I mean, in my first business, it took me 2 years before I got my first client, right? So trust me, I've been there. But the truth is, ultimately, what I said is true. What's more important, having a timeline and then being right that you're never going to get it, or ultimately having the business, the life that you want? And so that's a really, really powerful reframe. Mindset mistake number 3 is what I like to call humble but arrogant. And it's this attitude that a lot of new coaches have where they think they're pretty grounded, they're pretty humble, right? But because they've already had success in other areas of their life and their career, there's a little bit of arrogance that they might not even realize they have. So let me give you an example for myself. When I first started my online advertising consulting business, I already had a 6-figure job doing that. I had a team. I was directly giving reports and presentations to my employer's clients who were CMOs, C-level executives, SVPs, people like that. And so I was like, look, I'm really good at what I do. I'm very well paid for it. I'm very well respected. Of course, people are going to think it's incredible value to get to work with me. That I could not have been more wrong, because the truth is, even though I had the LinkedIn to prove it, I had the career, I didn't have any online body of work. I didn't have any content that I'd share. Nobody knew me. I didn't have an online brand. And so none of that offline stuff really translated that well initially. And so I had to really start from scratch. And I had to let go of the thoughts that, oh, I've been doing this already for so long, it should be so much easier. I'm already so good at this in my job. I already make 6 figures in my job. Why isn't this happening faster in my business? I had to let all of that go because frankly, it wasn't helping me. And I had to reapproach it with a beginner's mindset of, all right, I'm starting from scratch. I have the skills and that I'm going to help people with, and that's a huge plus, of course. So I'm not really starting from scratch, but when it comes to building an online business, I am a newbie. So I'm going to have to be okay with that. I'm going to have to learn the things I need to learn. I'm going to have to do the things I need to do starting from scratch that maybe I might have thought I was too quote unquote advanced for because of where I was in my career. I had to release all of that, stop thinking about, oh my gosh, I should be here by now. I've been doing this for this amount of time. And as I did, I became more open to learning the things I needed to learn to succeed in my online business. I became open to hustling, right? Talking to people, not thinking I was too good. I never thought I was too good to talk to anybody. Let me make that clear. But, too advanced to have to hustle or anything like that, or that things should be happening faster for me. I really had to a really honest moment with myself with, look, I haven't gotten the results I wanted because I haven't been doing enough of the work. And so these 3 mindset shifts really allowed me to reframe and to do that. And ultimately, the cool thing that happened as I did this, as I did the work, was that I was able to build a 6-figure business in 4 months before I left my 9-to-5. So if you want more information on how I did that, I'm going to link that video for you as well, somewhere on the screen and or in the description below, where I talk through the details of how I did that, if you are interested. Aside from that, I do have another really great thing for you, which is a PDF of my 15-second script to use to get your first or next paying client. So again, if you want that, I will put that somewhere on this screen and or in the description below. Finally, if you're not subscribed to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified every week when I release a brand new video on building your own online coaching and or course business. That is it for today. Thanks so much for being here, and I will see you next time.